What's up, guys? Today, I'm going to be going over teams that can make the Super Bowl that did not make the playoffs last season. So, I've gone through all the teams, and obviously, we have to cross out half of them because half of them made the playoffs last year. And then, the other teams are just complete garbage. And honestly, I can only think of 5 teams that can reach the Super Bowl that didn't even make the playoffs last year. So, going over the teams that made the playoffs last year, starting AFC, we had the Ravens at number 1, we had the Chiefs at number 2, Patriots at number 3, Texans at number 4, we had the Bills at number 5, and then the Titans at number 6. And the NFC, we had the 49ers at 1, Packers at 2, Saints at 3, Eagles at 4, Seahawks at 5, and Vikings at 6. So I'm going to be going over playoff teams and NFL teams that didn't make playoffs in another video, but today, let's go with these 5 teams. So I'm going to rank them in order of the likelihood of it happening. So starting at number 5, I have the Arizona Cardinals. So I believe that this team does have great potential next season, but unluckily for them, they're in probably the hardest division in the NFL, and any of those teams could make the playoffs next season. So they are in a division with the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams, and themselves. And they got 4th place in it last year, and that's saying a lot because that division is going to be really good next season. And if they could, all 4 teams now can make the playoffs in one division. So I really want to be surprised if that happened. Actually, that'd be really cool. But any 4 of those teams could make playoffs, and I think the Cardinals, with DeAndre Hopkins, a better evolved Kyler Murray, and then if they fix their defense up, they'll be a lot better team. Also, I think Kenyon Drake was just balling out at the end of the season, and he was looking like a beast, like 5 touchdowns in one game, I believe. So I believe the Cardinals offense has great talent next season, and if they can fix their defense, then they have a shot at the Super Bowl. So number 4, I have the Oakland Raiders. So this team's probably tied with the Cardinals. I didn't really know which team to put where, but I do believe that the Raiders have great potential next season. Probably wondering why. Because John Gruden, it's his 3rd year at head coach, and he's a legendary coach, Super Bowl winning coach, and he does easily have the playoff knowledge, Super Bowl knowledge to get there. I just think that with the addition of Marcus Mariota, they have Darren Waller, Tyler Williams, Derek Carr. That offense isn't bad. I believe they got scammed last year. They had like 5 road games in a row, and that's only possible because they had a home game in London, and it just screwed their whole schedule up. So I believe this team did get scammed a little bit last year with that schedule, and they probably should have won more games. They did look good, and with the right coaching, make the Super Bowl. And another great thing for them is that with that 7th playoff spot, they could get to 6 or 7 and shock the world. But I most importantly say this just for the Raiders, because the likelihood of the Chiefs getting that 1st or 2nd seed is pretty high next season. So if the Chiefs do get 2nd seed, which I don't think they will, I think they'll get 1st, but if they do get 2nd seed, then they would have to play the Raiders at 7th seed. And since they are division rivals, this is no unfamiliar game for the Raiders, and they could pull off the upset. So, at number 3, I have the Los Angeles Rams. So this team is also in the NFC West, and like I said before, this is the best division in the league. They went 9-7, and they didn't even make the playoffs. The Eagles went 9-7 and won their division. So it just shows how good that division is. So I do believe that they could win the Super Bowl because they did add that extra playoff spot just in case they need it. And I do believe the 49ers and Seahawks are going to be really good next year. So I do think they're going to need that playoff spot. But even if they don't, this team's probably going to be a little bit better than last year just because they have easier competition. They don't have to play like the other number one NFC teams. So I am expecting more wins from them. And they probably have the talent. They've been in the Super Bowl before. They probably will lose if they made it again. But they do have the playoff experience to do it. So at number 2, and I think everyone's thinking this, I believe that Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the potential to make and win the Super Bowl next year. So this is one of my teams that I don't think it's 50-50. I don't think it's 50-50 them making the playoffs. I think they will. It's kind of common sense too. I don't think they'll win their division just because the Saints are really good. But I do believe that they will get that 5th seed in NFC. Even if they don't, they could win their division. I don't know. But they do have the cheat lord, son, kisser, Tom Brady, and I can't deny the facts that they do have really good offensive talents in the wide receiver corps. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. This team, this offense is going to look really good next season. Maybe. And their defense ain't bad. So, yeah, this team will light up. Their defense isn't bad. They lost all those games last season because Jameis Winston is just an interception god. So I'm expecting at least 25 less interceptions this season from the Buccaneers and a solid Super Bowl run. So the last notable team on this list isn't the Cowboys. And all you Cowboys fans, I don't even think you're going to make the playoffs next year. You're garbage. So, but I do have a team in the AFC, and I think you know who it is. We got the Cincinnati. I'm just kidding. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this team has been scammed of playoff spots the 2 years in a row because Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. Pittsburgh, with Ben Roethlisberger's return, I believe this team will win their division. And I want to make a video discussing this very topic about how Pittsburgh's going to be really great next year. But some of the main concepts are their wide receiver trio, Juju, James Washington, Deontay Johnson, they're evolving. Ben Roethlisberger's back. And their defense, it's mighty good. So not only do I think this team will win their division with a really good record because their schedule's pretty easy, but I do think this team could compete. Well, if they get to the Super Bowl, I think they're going to win it, but they got to get past the Chiefs, and that's really hard to do. So if they do somehow get past the Chiefs, I believe this team will win the Super Bowl. So thanks for watching. Comment down below what you think. Let me know if you think there's any other teams I'm missing, because honestly, I don't think there is. And that's it. So, adios.